Hello friends and welcome back to my channel. Today on the menu we have a delicious steak and vegetable sauce which is going to be ready in just 30 minutes or under. It's a really quick recipe, really tasty and really healthy with all the vegetables included. So without further ado, let's get cooking. Here's a quick spread of all the ingredients I'll be using to make my steak and vegetable sauce, but as usual I'm going to include all of the ingredients in the description box. To begin, we are going to prep our vegetables. So for this particular recipe, I decided to opt for some carrots, a red and green bell pepper, as well as some green beans. And for extra flavoring, we'll also be using some onions, some spring onions, and some garlic. But you can use any type of vegetable you like to use. This is it's very versatile. I just decided to opt for these vegetables because they tend to be my favorites for any sauce. So the carrots, I just sliced them in strips, or julienne them as I call them. And I'm just going to slice the green bell pepper in this case, and also cut it into strips. But if you prefer, you can cut them into squares. Any shape will go. It's your kitchen, your shaped vegetables. It's entirely up to you. So I'm just going to go ahead and prep all of the vegetables, and I'll show you what I'll do next. And as always, if you've enjoyed watching the video so far, please hit the like button. It will really help me a lot. And for those that have not met me before, for those that are just new to my channel, my name is c.à.c, and I make all sorts of recipes. I tend to focus sometimes on African foods, but I make a lot of dishes from beyond as well, because I like to be eclectic and I like all sorts of different foods. So I would love to have you do hit the subscribe button and never miss out on a new recipe. I tend to post a couple of videos a week. I'm trying to increase my schedule, but let's see how that goes. But yes, I'm quite consistent. I post new videos every week, so don't miss out on them, and hit the subscribe button, share and like, and thank you so much for your support. Our vegetables and aromatics are now fully prepped, so we can go ahead and deal with our meat. So we have about 4 slices of rump steak. Each slice weighs just under 250 grams. So I'm just going to go and slice them into strips. And I'm slicing them against the grain, as you can see here. And the reason why I'm going about doing it that way is because slicing the meat against the grain results in a much more tender meat. That's about it, really. And I'm getting rid of the excess fat. Not all of it. I like to keep some because it does add a bit of extra flavor to the dish. So I'll show you what we'll do once we're done slicing our meat. I've got my pan on medium heat here, to which I've added a knob of butter as well as 1 tablespoon of vegetable oil. So we're going to let this warm up a bit before adding our onions and garlic. And I used 4 cloves of garlic for this, as well as half an onion. And we're going to let these sweat for a bit, approximately 2 to 3 minutes, making sure that our garlic doesn't burn. At this point, I also decided to go ahead and add a couple of bay leaves to the onion and garlic mix for extra flavor. I love adding bay leaf to my dishes. It really does make a difference. And we can now also add the meat. So once the meat has been added, you can flatten it onto the pan a little bit, and then go ahead and add your seasoning. So we have some all-purpose seasoning, some everyday seasoning, parsley, ginger, and some paprika, which we can now drop onto the meat and mix up. Next, we can go ahead and add a stock pot, and this is a chicken flavored one. If you have actual stock, you could add like half a cup of this as well. Instead, that's perfectly fine. So I'm just stirring this in, and I'm going to cover this up and let the meat cook for approximately 10 minutes. Ten minutes later, you can see that the meat has released these amazing juices, which are going to form the best part of the gravy. So this is exactly what you are looking for. The meat is not fully done. It's been cooking for only 10 minutes. At this point, we can go and add our carrots. And the reason why I'm adding the carrots first is because they are the hardest vegetable. Stir it up a little bit and then cover it to let cook for approximately 10 more minutes. I've actually only let the carrots cook for 5 minutes, and now we can add a thickening agent. So this is composed of a tablespoon of corn flour as well as 1 tablespoon of water, just to thicken the sauce a little bit. And because I realized I didn't add any black pepper at the beginning, I just went ahead and added that now. But this step is entirely optional. I just like black pepper with my steak. So I'm just stirring this all up. And at this point, we can also add our red bell pepper, green bell pepper, and green beans, and add this up. So these will not need to cook for too long. They're not as hard as the carrots. So I'm just stirring this up, and we're going to let this cook for approximately 5 to 10 minutes. Thank you for sticking with me so far. So as a last step, we can add our spring onions. So if you remember, we sliced up about 4 spring onions, and they are nice to add about 2 to 3 minutes before the end of your cooking time because they add all of these extra amazing flavor. And at this point, I'm just stirring this up, and I'm only going to let this cook for about 2 to 3 minutes, at which point we can dish up, and I'll show you what it looks like then. And here we have it. Our steak and vegetable sauce is ready. It is nicely done. The steak is cooked to perfection. It has got all these healthy vegetables. Honestly, you will not feel guilty eating this. And we are going to have this with our preferred rice. I'm just showing you here how much gravy this has formed. And I should probably also add, I did end up adding about half a cup of water because I wanted more gravy, but it's up to you how much or how little water you add to this. Really, some people would prefer this quite dry, which is fine as well. I just like a bit of gravy in my sauces. So we're now dishing up, and we're using this with white rice, but you can have this with any type of side dish. You can have this with potatoes. I think with yam it will be quite nice as well. Anything you like. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. Hit the like button if you did, and I'll see you very soon on my next video. Thank you for watching. Bye.